Let's deselect our selection using Control D, and then let's add some berries to our leaves here. So I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to call it fruit. I'm going to pick a nice bright red color that we can see. I'm going to take the detail oils brush and I'm going to size it slightly bigger than the size of the berry that I want to paint. And then I'm just going to click with my mouse just to place a few individually here on the ends of the branches. On this other one, I'm going to make some lighter berries. If they're going to be light, then you want them to be influenced by the environment color. So I'm going to sample one of these lighter colors from the mist down here. Put some berries in here. And then we will want to turn on preserve transparency. Pick a dark blue color. Take the digital airbrush. And we'll want to paint over some of these berries to make them not all the same value. Some will be kind of in shadow. If you want to make a few of them pop out too, you can make a couple of them really bright. You can do that with one of these lighter ones here. Let's go ahead and group these layers, starting with the fruit down to the branches foreground. We'll group those into foliage near. Turn off preserve transparency. And then let's finish up this piece by adding some detail to the pool that's in the background. So let's go to the pool layer. We'll create a new layer and we will call it ripples. We'll make it a multiply composite method. And we will use the sponge and a dark blue color. And you'll want to paint with a smaller sponge in the background and increase the sponge size as you move into the foreground. So I'm just going to paint over the pool area, increasing my brush size as I move forward. We get something like that. And then we will switch to the diffuse blur and we'll blend it a little bit. We want to kind of do this radial blending where we almost make this circular shape. You know, like if you drop a rock into a pond, it does that radial shape with the ripples. So emanating from the center, you kind of have this circle that kind of spirals out almost. And we will turn down the layer opacity till we find a more subtle blend for that. Let's create another layer. Let's make it a screen composite method. And we will call it light ripples. For this, we'll use the loaded palette knife and a light blue-gray color like this. And what we want to do is we want to put in some sharper ripples here where this edge of this mist kind of fades out. So this is the kind of the edge of the water as it's splashing. Just want something like this that makes the water look like it's moving and rippling, and you could just put in a little spot here and there wherever you want to. Don't really do too much to the background here because we want this to all look kind of misty, like it's really out of focus and fading in. So if you do need to towards the end, we can blend this to soften it, so don't worry too much now if it's still a little sharp. And let's reduce the opacity of this ripples layer a little bit to find a better blend. You can also blend it with a diffuse blur if you need to soften it a little bit using kind of light pressure. Now at this point, I'll leave it up to you to decide if you want to add any additional objects to your painting. You'll want to, of course, add them on new layers. You can consider adding more fruit and flowers to your trees to give it some additional color. So for instance, we could go back to the foliage group, go back to the fruit, and if you wanted to, you could put in a couple more spots here and there in the background of some lighter colors by clicking with the mouse. You want to probably keep the details pretty small, but like up in this area here in the trees, I'm just going to click some little white spots, and these might be birds or animals or fruit or flowers, who knows, but it really helps break up that green area and just put some visual interest in here. You probably want to try and not use any colors that are too unnatural, but you could put in like a really bright red in a couple spots here and there, and that might be a parrot or something, who knows. And also do some yellows. And oranges would not be uncommon. Do a few more lighter ones. Those little fine details help bring everything together. So let's go ahead and add the finishing touches now. Let's add a new layer as the topmost layer, and we will make it a multiply composite method. We'll call it tint, and we will select a peach color, something like this, and we'll fill the canvas with it. Then we'll use the airbrush and select a darker blue, something like this. And we will scroll down to the bottom here, and we want to paint in a gradient that fades from blue up into this peach. So I'm going to start down here at the bottom with a pretty big airbrush and do a couple big strokes. Then I'm going to make my brush smaller. Sometimes it gets a little slow when you have too big of an airbrush. See, I'm just kind of fading it up here. I want to stop about midway on the waterfall. I'm going to do another pass down here at the bottom to lighten it more. What this is doing is this is giving a sense of lighting, like maybe the sun is coming down from behind us or something, and the lower area where there's these trees is in shadow and the higher area is more bright and more vibrant. I'm going to fade this blue up along the bottom edge of this cliff and try to get a little bit of the sides of these trees as well, just to vignette it a little bit. Do the corners nice and dark. And then we'll play with the opacity of this to make it way more subtle. Something like that looks pretty good. Maybe we'll go a little bit stronger. Let's add another layer for the vignette. This will be a multiply composite method. We'll pick a blue-green like this. We'll take the airbrush again, and let's vignette mainly just the bottom corner. Since we have the light mist up here, we don't want to put dark over it. So we will just darken the bottom edges here a little bit to, again, draw more focus in towards the center of the piece. It's really starting to come together now. You can, of course, reduce the opacity if you need to. Now let's go ahead and save a copy of our artwork doing save as, because we're going to merge some layers. So I have a copy, and then I'm going to start with the foreground here by putting it out of focus, and then we'll play with the focus in some of the other areas of the painting after that. So I'm going to go to the foliage near group, and I'm going to merge that group by doing Control E, and then I'm going to select that group, and I'm going to use the blur blender to blur over it, put it out of focus, and if you want, you can do a save as again if you're going to keep working on this. But if you're done with the background and all of your other layers, then we're going to go ahead and do a drop all. So if you're ready to finish this, go ahead and do another save as, and then we will do a drop all to drop all of our layers. And then now we can go in and blur some more. We want to really concentrate on the background being the blurriest. So what's furthest away would be this top edge of this cliff here and all these trees. And then the foreground is already kind of blurry, that's out of focus. So what's going to be the most in focus will be the waterfall here. So I'm going to start by blurring the top edge of the trees. And then I'm going to kind of fade my blur down as I go down into the canvas. I'm going to blur the sides of the trees a little bit here. And that's really about all I need to do for blending this. So I think we have a finished painting. If you want to add a new layer and sign it, you can. Let's go ahead and save this as the final copy. And we will prepare this for print and web. So we will go to Save As. We'll save it as a TIFF. I'm going to rename this Print. And I'm going to resize this by going to Canvas, Resize, uncheck Constrain File Size, set your resolution to 72, Set the dimension to inches. The height is 14 on this one, and the width is 11. We'll go to OK. Now it's resized smaller for the web. We'll do another save as. We will change it to web. It'll be a PNG file. We'll go to save, and this is the version that you want to submit as your final assignment. So I really hope you enjoyed this class. You should now be able to combine all of these techniques that you learned together along with what you learned in the first landscape painting course to create your own landscapes from your imagination. I hope that you'll join me for future classes. Thanks for participating.